Hi everybody, I'm glad to be able to take you with me today out into the field. This is how most of my mornings start, especially when I have a program and I need to show you guys caterpillars. I come out here to Airport Road and I gather host plants to feed the caterpillars back at the lab. I look for leaf miners for our microscopes and caterpillars to show you. In general, it's a great way to start the day right down the street from the lab, in nature, listening to birds and finding caterpillars. So I'm gonna take you for a little walk here and see what we can find, and then I'll meet you back in the lab to look at those things up close. All right, this is where I was just standing on Airport Road. This is a really special place. I mean, there's a lot of places to look for caterpillars, trail sides and backyards, green spaces around where you live. They're all full of caterpillars. But Airport Road has a really nice mix of habitats. So like different types of trees, wetlands and highlands, pine trees, cherry trees, maples, gets you a lot of different caterpillars. And right over here, I can see some black cherry. This is near the telephone pole. And that's the tent caterpillar's favorite host plant. So let's go see if we can find a wild bunch of tent caterpillars. Oh my goodness, they have been eating a lot. Some caterpillars are tough to track down, but some not so much. Can you see how this has all been torn up? They've eaten all these cherry leaves, and I can see a few of our eastern tent caterpillars right here. And you follow all of this eaten stuff down, and you get to this incredible nest, this community of caterpillars. These guys live together in a big mass. They build a community. They build a nest out of silk. And they all live in here together. A couple times a day, they go out and feed, and they eat a lot of leaves. This cherry isn't gonna have much left on it by the end of their time with it. Just a really active, cool native caterpillar with lots of stories to tell. So this is one thing that I'm excited to bring some of them back to the lab with me today to show you a little closer. It's also a caterpillar that some years you will be able to find right there where you live, maybe in a backyard or a local park, but when they're there, they certainly stand out. It's one thing to observe these in a classroom or even in the caterpillar lab, but to come outside and find caterpillars and sit with them for a while and observe just exactly what they do in nature, you can see some very different things. Oh, look at this. I like seeing all of the caterpillar poop in the web here. That's a tent caterpillar special as well. Tent caterpillars don't poop away from where they live. They want to poop right here because it smells like the poison that's in their body. Their poop is a signal to birds that you wouldn't want to eat these. I can hear all these birds around me, but these tent caterpillars don't care. Most birds can't eat them. Before we go back to the lab, I wanted to show you one more thing out here in the field. We're gonna look at these creatures called leaf mining caterpillars today. Really, really tiny caterpillars that can fit inside of a single leaf. And we're at a trailhead here at Airport Road. It's just a little grassy trail, and at the end of it are these plants called sedges, look a bit like grasses, and the sedges are full of leaf miners. So I'm going to grab a few of those leaves with the caterpillars inside and bring them back, but why don't we go get them together? This is our little trailhead. As we come into the shade, these plants called sedges or path sedges will start to show up, and that's where our leaf mining caterpillars have made a home. I hope we can find some together. Ooh, here's our first sedge. Just looks sort of like a grass. And what we're looking for are just little brown markings on the leaves. And if we find those, we'll have our caterpillars. Oh, the things I do for caterpillars. Sometimes I need to go trek through a swamp, I'll get wet, or sometimes I get a little too covered with mosquitoes or ticks. It's important to be careful when you're out looking. If you get ticks, you've got to make sure you find those and remove them. And of course, you don't want to end up tripping on a tree or sinking in a swamp. But it is an adventure just to go outside in New England. Here is the sedge along this path that I know is full of leaf mining caterpillars. Let's just zoom in and then we'll bring some of these leaf mines back to the lab and look at them under the microscope. Here's one right here. It's just that brown edge along the leaf, and right at the base there you can see a dark spot, and that is our caterpillar. That's what we're after. So once we get that under the microscope, you'll be able to see that there's something inside this leaf eating from the inside out. I found another tent on my way out of Airport Road, which is gonna make me late to a program here, but this one's a little bit more active. The caterpillars are out of their tent. The light's just hitting it, so there's a little bit of warmth, and the caterpillars all come out together and they sit in the sun and they warm up together, and then they go off to feed. Sort of a fun way to end our time outside together. Again, I'm really looking forward to getting back to the lab and showing you all these things a little bit more up close and personal, and showing you a bit about how metamorphosis works and how caterpillars defend themselves. You know, if we're up to me, I'd have you all out here in the field with me looking for caterpillars. So I will see you all back at the lab, and thanks for joining me at Airport Road.